Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, T110E4 Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the T110E4, the Tier 10 American semi-traversable turreted tank destroyer. Now, this is a vehicle that I've always been very fond of. It's got big alpha, 640, great penetration values, and as well, pretty decent mobility added on with armor, making it a very solid tank. And it's a vehicle that's really fallen out of the meta that nobody sees or even plays in the Tier 10 matches anymore. In today's video, I not only wanted to bring up this tank, say that it still has a little bit of a spark, but as well, what needs to be changed, buffed or nerfed, whatever you want to say on this vehicle, so that it does fit in with the current meta of World of Tanks Blitz, because it definitely does need some changing, and in a very good way. Now, the E4 has been in the game for over 5 years, and it hasn't really changed anything since it's come into it, I'm aware. I don't think they've changed actually any value on the vehicle, they haven't buffed it or ever nerfed it, which I guess is the perfect balance. However, it definitely is in need of some love. I would say the main two things that need to be buffed on this vehicle, they're not even big buffs, but first of all, remove the cupola on the roof. Just like Wargaming removed pretty much the cupola of the T110E5, well, this tank shouldn't have such a big blaring weak spot. Either remove it or make it like the same thickness of a T110E3. That way, you know, it actually can bounce shells, because currently the E4's cupola is such an easy target to hit. It makes this tank just a sitting duck against a skilled player. Yeah, not so skilled players, you can stick your gun up like this and try and wiggle it and hide it, but it's still quite easy. And for a player like me, I can hit it 9 times out of 10, even 150 to 200 meters away. Not only do I think the cupola should be absolutely slapped right off, but as well, the reverse speed should be buffed. I think it should be going at least 15 in reverse, because it is such a poor reverse speed. Now that was a very lucky snap. Usually, you don't expect shells like that to hit with that quite big of a dispersion, but you can see that the gun is very, very nice. 640 alpha right into the side of that IS-7. That's going to hurt him when he tries to continue his pushes it a little bit. So yeah, not too bad there. Hopefully that IS-7 backs up a little bit more, of course, as he does. There you go, another nice snap into the IS-7. Now it's back in the cover. You can see that's where that reverse speed that I said needs to be buffed really does suck. Like, we're only going 10 in reverse. That's bad. And when you're reversing in the cover, it's not great, judging that you've got the big alpha. People want to take you out first. So, ooh, man, 2 tier 10s already taken out on the enemy team. That is not what you want. I guess that's because the VK-72 is all the way over here. Now you can see that the tank is decently quick, going at 35 kilometers per hour, just the same as, I think, the E5. It's not, actually, I think the E5 goes 38, but really the mobility on this tank isn't bad at all. You're able to get nice snaps out again, with that big alpha getting nice shots into the FE2 and 5B1A3. We got the VK-72 off to the side as well. He did get a shell into us, but we're going to keep on pushing here and hopefully get a big shell into his lower plate. Of course, we're also going to out-reload him because we do have such, or at least I think we are. We're going to test our luck here, but I'm pretty sure well, I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind. He lost a lot of HP. Alright, so we've already pretty much just steamrolled through the enemy team. They're down to 4 tier 10s. All they have left is the 4005 trying to push in through mid, who we're going to aim an HE shell right on the rear of. Aim, and fire. Oh, there you go. Nice 850 roll. I will take that. Thank you very much. And we're just going to continue our way through on the enemy team. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to penetrate a high explosive shell on the rear of this 30B, but we're going to wait, of course, until we do have a shell, and fire. There you go. That actually was an HE shell, but it doesn't look like we needed it in the long run, because he only had about 500 health left. But this game, you can see that the E4 gun works great. We were able to do over 3,800 damage. And if we're able to connect one shell onto the Sheridan, that's going to be easily above 4,000 damage. So, aim and fire. Yes! Oh, I didn't think that was connect. I had no hopes whatsoever. But the E4, against all odds, hit the shell, and we were able to break 4,000 damage in this game. And it showed you that this is an extremely strong tank, if it's played correctly, and of course your team knows what they're doing, because we had the mobility to push into position. We had the alpha to slap the enemy IS-7, and as well, we had, well, I can't really say the armor to bounce any shells because we didn't really get hit. The thing that I really like about the E4 personally is that you can camp in the back with it. You know, it is a tank destroyer, and you will see me camping in the back in some games. You'll see on, let's say, like Canal, if I was on the other spawn, I would have been sitting up on that ridge. Castilla, I'll sit up on the ridge. But because this tank has armor, and it has the ability to be run like a heavy occasionally, you can also run it very aggressive frontline, which is something that I personally love about this vehicle, because because it gives it such a diverse gameplay. That wasn't English, was it? So I guess our team's going to be pushing over towards the heavy side, and I'm going to try and help them out. Of course, with that big alpha, you still do have a very big fighting say in where your team goes, and not only that, but how you can support your team. The only thing I will also say that I think should be buffed is maybe the hit points on this vehicle. It's only sitting at 1900, which of course isn't awful, but it definitely is weak compared to like some of the bigger tank destroyers, like the Panzer, I think has around 2120. It definitely needs a little bit more HP, but judging that the enemy team has two giant German super heavies, I'm thinking that they're most likely going to be pushing off to this side. And there's one, there's the Panzer. So there's one nice tap into the Yag already, 745 hit points taken off of him. The fantastic thing that people forget about this tank, they say, oh, it's so weak. It has a turret. Being able to shoot people around a corner is so nice. And people kind of take that for granted when they play a vehicle like this. Now, that T-92, I kind of wanted to shoot, and, well, I guess he's going to let me shoot him. I was going to say we aren't going to get that out because I just didn't trust my gun there enough, but looks like we were able to get it out either way. And we've now not got the Panzer as well trying to aim. So we're going to see what we can do here. I've got to be very careful, though. Back up. Yes, nice bounce from the Yag, as you can see, right on the outer part of this vehicle. And because of that, we've brought what was a full health tank destroyer already down to 700 hit points, which is quite low, of course. And we're easily going to be able to continue to get shells out into him, if we can here. We've also got the T-92 off to the side, but not much I can do, actually, against that. The Yag once again pulling out. There's one more nice stab into that Yag Panzer. And what was a full health tank destroyer is now sitting at a former shell of himself, 111 hit points. Now as well, we got the E100 off to the side here, who we might be able to shoot. I'm just going to keep on pushing forward. Come on, E100, show me your turret cheek or your lower plate. That works too. Nice snap into him. We're sitting over 3,000 damage easily. And this is why I feel the E4 is just such a strong tank, is the gun is so easily cutting through frontal armor. As I said, the penetration is through the roof. It's got more DPM than a vehicle like a VK-72, so you out-reload the big, giant German super heavies. In fact, I out-reload all three of these tanks over here. And with that reload being faster, I'm able to confidently sit there and punch them shell after shell after shell and not really worry too much. So this game, we didn't get the most damage out, only about 3,300, maybe 38. I didn't really pay attention too much, but nonetheless, we easily helped out our team. We were able to get big shells into the enemies, and with this game, it was a very easy victory. We took 0 damage in ourselves in return, and as well, you saw I did bounce a shell from the Panzer, showing that this thing does actually have some armor going for it, and especially if you know how to bait people into shooting the boat-shaped hull, it's very tricky. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to shoot this T-54 because it looks like he's losing a lot of HP. No, why you run away? But nonetheless, as I said, we did a good amount of damage, and I can't complain in the long run. So the E4 is a strong tank, and if you own it, I definitely suggest you pull it out and try it, because it can be a very strong tank. 3,804 damage, once again, very solid amount. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of this vehicle. This is a tank that's old, but still gold in my opinion, and it can be played very well if you know what to do in it. Hopefully, you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.